Good day, welcome to Newsroom. I'm KEJANG Henri in Douala, Cameroon. Article 1, Paragraph 3 of Cameroon's Constitution of 18 January 1996 says that the official languages of the Republic of Cameroon shall be English and French, both languages having the same equal status, and that the state shall guarantee the promotion of bilingualism throughout the country. And so as Cameroonian students, or as Cameroonians as a whole, who enter the National Bilingualism Week come Monday, we are going to see how much we have done to make sure we promote the teaching and practice of bilingualism in the country. This, as we are going to welcome some bilingual Cameroonians on the program. Thanks for joining me on the program, and welcome to Newsroom. First things first, we have our lineup for today. I have Charles Fongang. He is a journalist and, of course, works with JED, that is Journalism for Development. It's an agency. Thanks, Charles, for having accepted to be part of the panel.
Thanks, KEJANG. I'm very happy to be part of the program today.
And, of course, the week was closing with very sad news across the country, the passing away of the president, must I say, of your party, because you act as the communication officer of Manidem, the African movement, of the new African movement, Manidem. Abadan Pamat passed on in Paris, France.
It is a great loss for Cameroon democracy. Abadan Pamat is a real freedom fighter. He left his country on asylum during the 1970s because he was not totally ready to accept the way Mr. Ayijo was ruling the country. He came back in the country in 1982 because he was expecting that maybe with Mr. Biya things can change. But 1 year after he came back in the country, he was arrested and detained for 6 months. He was here in Douala, BMM in Douala for 6 months. And he continued, after he was released, he continues denouncing the way the country was ruled. He was arrested again in 1985, and this time he spent 11 months in BMM in Yaoundé. Despite that, he continued fighting, and in 1991, he was elected National Finance Secretary of the UPC, and 4 years later, with a group of other militants of the UPC, he left the UPC to create the Manidem Party.
Oh, indeed, a very rich political experience there, or political career. And of course, there was another loss, Adolphe Papi-Doumbé of the UPC. In fact, UPC fading out.
Yes, this was a great loss, but there is a different. Adolphe Papi-Doumbé is 66, while Abadan Kwama was just 61. And Adolphe Papi-Doumbé is known as someone who was also a great politician, despite the fact that people believe that he was a militant of one of the faction of UPC who was more close to the government, to the ruling government.
Anyway, one thing is for sure that they, at the time they were in the Maquis, or they started the fight, they were all at the opposition divide. But then another sad good news, I should put it this way, was the outing of Communications Minister Issa Chiroma Bakari on the issue of homosexuality. Yes,
I believe that what Mr. Issa Chiroma did is a good point, because we have realized that nowadays foreign countries want all to impose homosexuality in our own country, in Cameroon. And it is good to remind them that the Cameroon law does not agree with that. And notably Article 347Bs. This article states that you have 6 months, it is 6 months, 6 to 5 years term for anyone that can have sex with somebody of the same sex.
All right. In fact, thanks very much, Fongan Charles, for having accepted the invitation. I have another guest on the program, Zulai Daouda. She is a student of Lycée de Makepe. Zulai, thanks for joining me on the program.
You're welcome.
And I understand you were one of those students who were selected for the YES program, that is Youth Exchange Studies, that will be holding in the US of A. How did it come about? And one of the best students of your class or in the region considered bilingual. So how did you manage to break through the YES program?
So they came in my class and they proposed us a program that was bringing young youth to the US. I was interested, and we wrote 2 tests. After the test, he did an interview, so I was selected.
You were selected. Now, I want to say that you are Francophone and not studying in French, not studying in English, but you are a bilingual Cameroonian. How did you find yourself breaking through easily studying English, whereas some of your classmates could not just do like you?
I'm attending a special bilingual class.
That's good.
So we are doing intensive English, and I do my best to be a real bilingual student.
A real bilingual student. Well, we shall be coming back to talk on how the activities that you carry on as a bilingual student. There is another student, Tegum Yekwit. Did I pronounce it well? Tegum.
It's Tegum Yokubo.
Sorry?
Tegum Yokubo.
Thank you very much indeed. You are a student of Lycée Bilingue de Nyala, and you are equally one of those. Which class?
Up 6 Arts.
Up 6 Arts, that's great. And I think from I should leave you the opportunity to she's in Upper 6 Arts.
Upper 6 Arts.
That's good.
Why she's still very young?
Yeah, now Fongang, maybe you should entertain her with French because we want to test how bilingual these students are.
Oui, comment est-ce que vous avez réussi à vous retrouver parmi les sélectionnés de ce programme YES?
Bon, merci pour la question d'abord. Déjà, tout ça a débuté pendant la journée du bilinguisme. Il y a les professeurs qui sont venus en classe nous proposer, les élèves qui voulaient participer à la journée du bilinguisme. Moi, déjà, je suis partie pour la lecture audible. Mais quand je me retrouve à la lecture audible, on me sélectionne pour Miss Bilinguisme. Je dis, bon, pourquoi pas tenter ma chance? Je vais essayer. Et puis, c'est comme ça que je me trouve ici aujourd'hui.
La lecture audible, pour nous, pour ceux qui nous regardent, c'est précisément c'est quoi la lecture audible?
Bon, la lecture audible, c'est pour les anglophones, nous, on devrait lire en français. Et les francophones, eux, lisent en anglais. C'est comme ça que je suis allée pour la compétition lecture audible. Je suis arrivée en demi-finale. Et en demi-finale, il a fallu que je choisisse entre Miss Bilinguisme et lecture audible. Alors, notre superviseur m'a demandé de faire la Miss Bilinguisme et laisser la lecture audible. Alors, c'est comme ça que je me trouve ici.
Now, let me just come, Tiagum. What were some of those things that they considered to, you know, I knew you cannot be walking along the road and seeing yourself on the mirror, but what are some of those things they considered when they were carrying out the selections, the criteria that they gave to you?
Well, what all know as Mrs. in Cameroon, we know that Mrs. is all about the physical structure and all the like.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm not as slim as we usually see girls outside.
Yeah.
But what counts is what you bring out of you, is what is found inside. It's what you pass to the audience, it's what you pass to people outside. So what is important is what you have within you. Mm-hmm. So that's the most important, and that's what marked the members of the jury when I came in for the competition.
Now, was it so difficult, or you just took it very lightly? Because some of the times the text that they give you to read, at times you might even shy away and laugh. Say, but at least these people are joking with me.
No, the texts were not that easy, but I tried my best. I did what I could do to reach at this level. So I tried everything possible. I did everything possible to get to this level. I just put in every effort.
Just that reading, was it enough? Did they consider issues like phonetics and so on?
Yes, they considered everything, your accents, the way you read, the way you
punctuate, even, and your respiration and so on.
Yes.
Est-ce que vous prenez également en compte votre connaissance de l'histoire du Cameroun, de la société telle qu'elle fonctionne? Est-ce qu'il fallait vous-même, par exemple, partir de certains fléaux comme le sida, faire passer un message, construire soi-même son message et le passer?
Oui, bon, sur le sida, déjà, je vais parler de comment ce virus est transmis entre nous, les jeunes. Ça se transmet déjà par par une transmission sexuelle, n'est-ce pas? Donc déjà, les rapports sexuels non protégés, utiliser les lames, les objets souillés. Les objets souillés. Et la plus fréquente même, ça se passe parfois par rapport à l'accouchement.
Okay,
de mère en fille ou alors de mère en fils. Oui. Donc, la meilleure façon de pouvoir éviter ce fléau qui mine notre société d'aujourd'hui, c'est de déjà promouvoir, sensibiliser les jeunes là-dessus, sur l'utilisation peut-être des préservatifs, de se protéger pour ceux qui sont déjà actifs, quoi, se protéger. Et ceux qui ne sont pas encore actifs, je conseille de rester
oui, parce que l'abstinence.
Abstinence. In fact, thanks very much, Charles. Let me just turn to Zulai. Zulai, there is very soon, in fact, we are entering the bilingualism week, and incidentally, too, we'll be entering the youth week. If I should ask, what are some of those activities that you're carrying out in your school?
Yes. In our school, first, we have an English club. I'm the vice president.
That's good.
So we are preparing many activities, such as debates on issues that concern directly youth, like HIV.
That's good.
As my mate, yes. And competitions, like a quiz, which concerns current events.
That's good.
And we organize 2 traditional dances, fashion parade, and that's all.
Now, you just talked about current events, and if I should ask, what really touched you? Maybe if we should look at some of the issues that are happening now in Cameroon, just recently, what would you say? Really impressed you, or that you really had interest in?
What interests me now is the preparation of the
reunification of East and West Cameroon, right? That will be taking place in Boya.
Yazoulay, quand vous rencontrez un individu dans la rue et que vous voulez vous exprimer, vous voulez lui adresser la parole, quelle est la langue qui vous vient en premier dans la tête?
Le français.
Ah, mais pourquoi le français?
Parce que j'estime que je m'exprime mieux en français.
En fait, c'est un choix.
Et puis aussi, au Cameroun, le français est un parti dominant, surtout du côté où je vis, du sud. C'est plus le français.
Et ça aurait été différent si vous étiez, par exemple, au sud-ouest, vous aurez été tenté de parler plutôt l'anglais?
Oui.
Oui, généralement, on dit qu'on rêve dans une langue. Généralement, vous rêvez en quelle langue?
En anglais.
Ouais, vous rêvez en anglais, mais vous exprimez
oui, mais je m'exprime en français.
That's good. Wonderful. You see, televiewers, our point here is to, let the world understand how much the government has done in promoting bilingualism, and of course, the practice of bilingualism according to the text and various decrees that have been signed. In fact, we are equally going to have those who are in charge of the promotion of bilingualism, and they will be talking much on that. Now, Fonka, let us turn to Tegum. Tegum, now, you are in Upper 6 Arts, right?
Yes.
Now, one major issue that will be coming up will be the reunification. How much do you know about that? No, it's not a test anyway. It's not a test. What we're doing here is to know how much you can express yourself in English and how much you can express yourself in French. Now, what is really interesting when you hear of the reunification?
Reunification, what interests me most is the Cameroon coming as one country. You know, the East and the West coming as a single country. That's the country will no longer be divided. We no longer have different societies. Like no marginalization, no discrimination at all, and we'll recognize our brothers,
wherever they are.
Yeah, wherever they are, and we say we're one,
one and indivisible.
Yes.
Do you believe that in your class there is anything that has been done in order to promote this being together?
Yes.
Or if I should just compliment that when you're in class. They'll not say Anglo, Francophone.
Yeah.
Do you have that? Do you know such things?
Yes, at times there's that marginalization.
Or you're just joking?
At times it happens. At times you like approach a student and we say, tu es bamileke, les bamileke sont comme ça, ils sont ci, ils sont ça.
But you don't say Anglo or Francophone.
Yes, the Anglophones at times when a French student speaks the English language and he has some lapses and he feels like he has some difficulties in the language, the student will just say, that Francophone student, what was even the student doing? The student does not know how to get through the language. Just shut up, we cannot do anything. So that's how it happens in class at times.
And now, Zulai, do you equally face such things?
Yes. First, in my class, there are no Anglophones, but when we meet with the other schools, and when the students are Anglophone, this discrimination occurs.
Mm-hmm. Now, baby, let me find out. When, for example, you are in class, do you speak English only when your English teacher comes, or you make an effort to speak English amongst yourself, or only when you are in the English club?
We speak English when our teacher comes, and in our school first, we speak English every Wednesday. And since I'm in bilingual class, we ought to speak English every time. Maybe sometimes when we are with francophone students, we used to speak English.
Mais pensez-vous qu'aujourd'hui, les jeunes sont plus intéressés à l'apprentissage d'une autre langue en dehors de leur langue première? Est-ce que vous avez de plus en plus de jeunes qui ont pour langue français, le français comme langue première? Est-ce qu'ils essayent à vouloir? Est-ce qu'ils ont la volonté de vouloir également essayer en anglais?
Oui, parce que dans notre école, nous avons un club anglais, normalement destiné aux classes bilingues. Mais on se rend compte que les classes francophones sont même plus impliquées que les classes bilingues. Donc, je tire conclusion que les francophones aimeraient bien parler anglais.
Ça intéresse davantage à l'anglais.
Now, Tiago, there is. Why didn't you maybe choose to be, apart from English and French, did you have interest in maybe Espanol or Alemán, as they always say, German or Spanish?
Well, I had much interest in studying 5 languages at least, because I'm a language student. That's what I want to be in the future. That's stand in the public and be able to express myself in different languages. But for now, the main language I want to study most is English, because I'm in Douala, Francophone zone. It's not somehow too easy for us Anglophones to integrate with other students or the people around us all the time in English, because everyone around us are Francophone. Everybody's Francophone. Everybody wants to speak.
So all the time you speak but French?
French. So
the tendency is that you speak
yes.
French. At times you even speak French to an Anglophone,
yes,
without knowing.
Yes, without knowing.
And then how will you determine that, okay, that is an Anglophone?
I'll determine the way, because the way he speaks the French, I'll come to know that he's an Anglophone, and
now
I'll just switch the English language.
Charles.
C'est
interesting.
Oui, comment vous avez dit, comment est-ce que vous faites pour reconnaître le francophone? Mais je vais poser une autre question. Une fois que vous serez à l'université, vous êtes en classe terminale, il y a des classes pour les francophones, il y a des classes, la formation bilingue en anglais, et pour les anglophones, vous avez la formation bilingue en français. Dans votre cas, vous qui maîtrisez si bien les 2 langues, quelle classe choisiriez-vous?
Je dirais la classe en anglais. Oui.
Alors, pourtant, vous avez plus de facilité en anglais?
Je dirais la classe en anglais parce que déjà en français, je fais l'effort de m'en sortir. Alors en anglais, je voudrais élever mon niveau d'anglais encore. Mais si on me demandait de choisir, j'allais choisir les 2 quand même.
Oui. Est-ce qu'il y a un avantage aujourd'hui? Est-ce qu'il y a un avantage à être bilingue? Est-ce que le fait que vous soyez bilingue vous donne quelques avantages dans la société?
Beaucoup d'avantages. Beaucoup d'avantages. Déjà, l'avantage, c'est l'intégration sociale. Quand on marche en route, c'est facile de... Si vous voyez un anglophone, ça va être très facile de parler en anglais. Pareil, si vous rencontrez un francophone en route, ça va être très facile de s'exprimer dans les 2 langues.
Est-ce que vous avez l'impression d'être le Camerounais, comme le dit la Constitution, qui maîtriserait les 2 langues? Donc, vous avez l'impression d'être le Camerounais moderne quand vous parlez dans les 2 langues?
Oui, oui. Et je suis très fière de ça même d'ailleurs.
Zulai Dauda, if there should be an advice to give to other young Cameroonians like you and maybe across the world, because we are watched all over the world, right?
Yes.
What will you tell them when it comes to learning languages? What will you tell them, especially English? Or say if you have to go back to the South, what will you tell those there in the South who do not have an interest in English language?
Yes, I'll tell them that French, first of all, English is the first language in the world.
That's good.
And they asked to speak English to succeed in the future.
That's good.
Yes, and they have to honor their citizenship. They are Cameroonians, and Cameroon is known as a bilingual country.
According to the constitution, like I read, that the official languages of the Republic of Cameroon shall be English and French, both languages having the same status.
They must be bilingual.
They must be bilingual. Indeed, Charles, I think we
But
have...
when you realize that the president, most of the time, the speeches of president is always are always in French. Do you believe that he's not he's not expressing his own citizenship, Cameroonian citizenship?
I think that it is discouraging the Francophone student to study English. Because if our president is not an example for us, how will we be bilingual in the future?
So the president should be an example. But then, you know, anyway, some ministers, when you approach some ministers, how do you feel when you approach a minister? If tomorrow you are a journalist and you have to interview a minister, and the minister tells you that, je m'excuse, non seulement du Cameroun est bilingue, mais je vais m'exprimer en français. How will you feel? Because people always have... What will you say, Tegom?
As she earlier on said, it feels very discouraging because you'll be very, very, very nasty or very ridiculous to find an authority of that sort who cannot express himself in the two languages. Yeah, it's very, very, very discouraging. He's not encouraging the others, the younger ones to learn the two languages. Because Francophones usually say that English, as we say in Kwantazat, c'est Dieu qui donne l'anglais. That's not true. It's not God that gives English. It's not true. Learn to know the English.
Now, but how often do you speak English at home?
At home?
Yes. How
No,
often?
I don't speak English.
You don't speak English?
Your parents don't speak
No,
English.
They don't speak
to you?
English.
Why?
Sometimes when, on Wednesday, sometimes I encourage them to speak English because I want everybody to be bilingual. So sometimes on Wednesday, when I speak all the day, I speak English in school. I come back at home and I speak English.
On Wednesdays. Now, with your own brothers at home and sisters, do you from time to time speak English? They too are trying? Should I say that?
Yes, they are trying, but we don't speak English together.
Why? There's not no justification. You just find yourself swimming in French.
Et quel est votre cas à la maison? Est-ce que vous parlez le français ou l'anglais avec les parents ou il y a une langue, c'est la langue vernaculaire?
À la maison, généralement, c'est plus de français qu'anglais à la maison. Mais il y a des fois, parfois, bon, il y a des gens qui se lèvent le matin et disent qu'aujourd'hui, c'est journée anglais, pas de français à la maison.
Et les parents également adhèrent à cette
Ils adhèrent,
dynamique-là?
chacun se débrouille, chacun fait de son mieux, chacun fait ce qu'il peut faire pour essayer de maîtriser la langue.
All right.
Il y a également le pidgin. Il y a également le pidgin. Est-ce que
speak
cela
pidgin?
affecte? Do you speak? Est-ce que vous parlez
At least
également
you-
le pidgin?
That is the language I avoid the most because it kills my vocabulary. I don't even want to learn it because it's... I
Well,
don't want to learn
How
it.
do you feel when people speak pidgin
Around
around
you.
you?
I feel very bad and sorry for them at the same time because...
But I have a friend who says, you know, there is a way, there are certain expressions, you know, if you want to feel really comfortable, really feeling with your, to be part of a society, English is sweet in the way they express it. Does it occur to you like that?
No, I don't think so. I don't think... We talk about English, right?
Pidgin English.
Pidgin English. I don't think so. I don't think Pidgin English is sweeter when you express yourself in the midst of people in Pidgin. It's not nice at all.
All right. Thank you very much, Tegum and Charles. The state shall endeavor to protect and promote national languages. Do you speak your dialect in the house? The state should protect and promote national languages.
I don't.
You do.
You don't speak your mother's tongue.
Zaula,
What about you?
July?
I do.
You do.
Most of the time we speak our dialect in our home.
That's good. Well, should I say, ladies or my students, thanks for having accepted my invitation.
You're welcome.
We are going to meet Roland, who will now give us a break while we come with our other guests. Thanks. We shall be right back. Thanks very much and welcome back. This is Newsroom coming to you from Douala, Cameroon. And of course, we have other persons on the panel now. One more student, this time from College de Luria. She's Mbolo Abesolo, a student of College de Luria. Thanks for having accepted to join me on the panel, Mbolo.
Thank you too.
And how do you feel coming maybe to Canal?
I feel very happy because I'm going to express, to tell the other citizens how the advantages of being bilingual.
The advantages of being bilingual, indeed. Thanks and welcome. We shall be coming back to you. And of course, we have a pedagogic inspector in charge of the promotion of bilingualism. And as he says, the promotion and the practice of bilingualism in Cameroon is very important. And according to our constitution, they are the guarantors. I have Mrs. Pamela Nkemfua. She is, like I said, pedagogic inspector. Thanks, madam, for having accepted my invitation.
You're welcome.
Now, how did we begin? Selecting these students. How do you promote bilingualism in the country and in your own region? When I talk of your region, here at Douala, where you are operating.
First of all, we have teachers that we work with throughout the year.
That's good.
And during this period, we come up with what we call a reading contest, during which teachers select the best students in their classrooms who can read and create a poem.
That's good.
Who can read and express their strength in the other official language by creating a poem or by drawing, interpreting what I've read in the text in the form of drawing, and also read aloud. And then we also have the Miss Master Bilingualism. Yeah, where we select students who can express themselves in English and French interchangeably. We ask them questions on current issues. We ask them questions relating to all spheres of life.
Oh, interesting to know. And let me just, I forgot something, Charles, before I come to you. We didn't even announce the theme for this year's Bilingualism Day. Lest I forget, it is Bilingualism, an asset for an emerging Cameroon. It's interesting that everything is emerging. Charles.
The point is that 50 years after the independence, it is now that we are realizing that bilingualism can also help improve Cameroon development, then I believe that it's very late. But maybe, as it's always said, that it's never too late.
It's never too late.
Okay, I would like to ask a question to the exporter. What is the importance of such competition to put students together in order to...
First of all, the competition helps other students to be able to show an interest in the one of the official languages, which is not their first language, because they see their friends being selected. At the end of the competition, they're awarded prizes, and those prizes are like incentives that push the other students to want to also be part of that competition.
Was it the first time?
No, this was not the first edition. Actually, it is the 12th edition. It first started in 2003. We had what we call the Bilingualism Day. In 2006, we moved on to the Bilingualism Week.
This is
the 9th Bilingualism Week, but the 12th edition that we are celebrating the Bilingual Day.
There is Abesolo, Charles.
Abesolo. Et vous parlez également français?
Oui, monsieur.
Très bien. Très bien français.
That's a bilingual student.
Quelle importance accordez-vous à ces deux langues-là aujourd'hui?
Déjà, les langues font partie de notre culture, donc on doit les connaître, les maîtriser. Et je crois que l'anglais en particulier, ça ouvre les portes dans de nombreux domaines. Dans l'éducation, dans le monde du travail, partout. Et en plus, on est souvent fiers quand on sait parler les deux langues.
Now, do you speak English at home with your parents or with your brothers, or you speak only in school like your other mates were talking Tegum and Zulai Dauda?
I speak at home too with my parents and brothers and sisters.
Is it an obligation?
No. Since I can say they are kindly jealous of me because I express myself very well in English.
Better than the others in your house?
So they want to improve their English too. So they ask me to speak
Regularly.
English with them.
Regularly.
Mais comment es-tu arrivé à t'exprimer dans les deux langues? Est-ce que c'est les parents qui t'y ont poussé ou vous l'avez choisi, vous avez voulu ou par vous-même?
Les parents m'ont proposé et j'ai accepté. On a décidé d'essayer et ça a marché.
Did you start any bilingual primary school? Did you attend any bilingual primary school?
Yes.
Is that why your English was improved?
Yes.
Do you have what they call at the class of class 5? You do maybe you write what they call a CP in class 6. You now write a first school certificate, a reading certificate. I don't know. Do you have all those?
Did you do a bilingual? No, they didn't do it. I think the bilingual first school, madam, if I should ask, the bilingual first school started last year or 2 years ago.
Bilingual first school.
Yeah. So when
at the level of the secondary
school, you'll be writing the bilingual BPC.
Troisième bilingue.
Troisième bilingue.
Yes.
So is that what you're doing?
No, I wrote the first school living certificate.
Now, what do you intend to do? Will you be writing the bilingual?
No, I'll continue with English.
You continue with English. That's interesting. Now, madam, let us come. Now, we talk about the practice of the teaching and practice of bilingualism. How easy is it for you as how easy is it for you people to, promote such a language, especially you promoting English or bilingualism as a whole in an area like Douala or Littoral?
To tell you the truth, it's not easy because we work with teachers who are faced with a lot of challenges. They have limited resources to be able to teach the English language. They don't have language labs as we do in developed countries. They don't have, most of the students don't even have the textbook. And then we have the phenomenon of overcrowded classrooms.
That's it.
A teacher who is faced with about 150, 180 students in one class.
Do you have such a situation again?
Yeah, we do in Cameroon, in Douala in particular. We have classrooms of about 165, 180 students in one class. And you have a teacher to manage that class, so you can imagine how difficult it is. What you'll be telling me is that we have a methodology for large classroom management.
That it has.
Even that way, it is not easy.
It's
with
too large.
Climate in Douala, it's so hot in Douala, and to be able to manage those classes, it's not an easy task.
Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose qui est fait par les pouvoirs publics pour essayer de limiter, pour essayer de changer la donne, la situation que vous venez de présenter?
Nous pouvons dire que l'État est en train de faire beaucoup de choses.
Quoi concrètement?
Ils sont en train de créer plus d'établissements pour qu'on ne soit pas obligé de faire face à ces effectifs pléthoriques. Donc chaque année, il y a la création de nouveaux établissements. Mais jusque-là, la population du Cameroun ne fait que croître. Donc ce n'est pas évident que nous sommes obligés de faire face à ces effectifs pléthoriques.
Oui, mais qu'est-ce qui est également fait par l'État pour promouvoir le bilinguisme?
L'État fait beaucoup.
Au niveau du primaire, du secondaire, avant d'arriver au supérieur?
Premièrement, nous avons les centres de formation, nous avons les écoles normales supérieures, ils font plus d'enseignants qui peuvent enseigner l'anglais, le français. Il y a également les inspecteurs pédagogiques qui sont là pour essayer de donner un coup de main à ces professeurs. Il y a aussi ce qu'on appelle le jeu bilingue qu'on a introduit.
Il consiste à quoi?
Oui, quand je parle du jeu bilingue, on encourage chaque professeur pendant les 10 dernières minutes de sa classe de parler l'autre langue officielle. Il peut faire peut-être le résumé de son cours dans l'autre langue officielle.
Est-ce que ces enseignants-là suivent ce rythme? Est-ce qu'ils le font?
Certains le font, mais pas tout le monde, parce qu'ils font face à certaines difficultés de s'exprimer dans l'autre langue officielle. Donc, ils le font quand même, il y en a qui le font.
Charles, now I should equally try my hands there because since the beginning of the program I've not spoken French. Madame, est-ce que vous pouvez rappeler, n'est-ce pas, le thème de cette année en français?
Le thème de cette année, c'est le bilinguisme, un atout pour un Cameroun émergent.
Concrètement, cela veut dire quoi?
Ça veut dire que le bilinguisme est très important pour l'émergence du Cameroun. Donc, c'est l'une des qualités sur lesquelles on doit mettre l'accent pour que le Cameroun émerge en 2035, comme on le dit.
Charles Abesolo is still with us on the panel.
Abesolo, how important being bilingual to you if you happen to find yourself out of the country?
You integrate yourself easily with the citizens of that country. You won't face difficulties for looking for a job.
Now, like I asked the others, do you face such challenges when they say that, or when you find yourself in a milieu where you have francophones and anglophones, francophone and anglophone children? Maybe you have been insulted, you are an anglophone, they don't like your language, and so on and so forth.
I don't think it's good because both Anglophones and Francophones share the same culture of being a Cameroonian. So they are the official languages, so they must not say that I don't like your language because it's an obligation for them to like it.
An obligation indeed. Well, we are going to maybe receive Charles with the permission of Roland and Yannick. Let us just have a break, a transition, then we will come and meet another guest. This time will be Madame Edimo Constance that will be joining us soon in the studio. And I want to say thanks, Abesalo. A message to other students who like to speak or who like to be like you. Do they jealous?
Also to parents. A message to parents.
It's kind. They just envy.
Yeah. There's people envy you a lot.
Yeah,
Those, in fact, they envy those who are bilingual.
Oui, quel conseil est-ce que vous donnerez aux parents, à d'autres jeunes qui vous regardent?
Je leur conseillerais d'être déterminés. Je les conseillerais, pardon, d'être déterminés. Parce que sans détermination, on ne peut pas apprendre cette langue parce qu'elle est assez compliquée. Parce qu'au début, c'est vrai, j'ai aussi rencontré des difficultés, mais avec la volonté, on peut réussir à l'apprendre.
Interesting indeed. Thanks very much, Mbolo Abesolo, and say we wish you well. We wish you well right up to the summit. Well, we have a transition and then we'll come back. Welcome back. This is Newsroom coming to you from Douala, Cameroon. I have Madame Edimo. She is a pedagogic inspector in charge of the promotion of bilingualism, like I said. Edimo Constance. Thanks, Madame, for joining me on in the studio.
Thank you for receiving us.
And we want to say congratulations, as much work has been done to, by your department to promote bilingualism. If you should ask, how are you promoting bilingualism?
Promoting bilingualism is something that we do in our work. First of all, since we are pedagogic inspector, we are also teachers.
That's true.
So before being inspector, I personally have been teaching both English and French because I had a training as an English teacher.
That's good.
And also French teacher since I did both languages.
That's good.
So I've been teaching both during years. And now as inspector...
You still teach anyway?
Yes, yes.
Inspectors teach the teachers?
Yes. So I help now other teachers to improve their teaching methods.
That's good.
That's what I'm doing. And apart from that, I'm also having other activities. For instance, I'm also helping the children with the YES program. As we have seen before, and this is a program organized by the United States Department. So we select a number of students. It's a long selection, and in the end, they selected the best students. All the selection is done in English.
That's true.
So the best students are sent in the United States, where they spend 1 year living in an American family and going to school in an American school.
So could you tell us more about that year's program? Because is it the first edition, or it has always been like that?
It is not the first edition. Actually, it is in Cameroon. It is the 5th edition. But this program has started after, the event of what they call September 11.
That's true.
In the United
9/11.
States. Yes. So something happened there, and in order to help promote the American culture, they decided to.
The State Department decided to come up with the YES program. YES program is youth exchange and study. Actually, it is a Kennedy Lugar Youth Exchange and Study Program. So it is formerly it was for students mostly from the Arabian Muslim regions, and gradually has been extended to other countries. And so since 2009, Cameroon is also participating to this program every year.
Right. Do you have some Cameroonians who have been there who have benefited from that program already?
Of course, yes.
They went, they studied, and they came back?
Yes, they actually studied and they came back, because the program is, they are not supposed to stay there. They are just going there to learn the American way of life, to study there, and then they come back.
And continue school.
Yes, they continue school, and they have a duty when they come back. They have to create English club, let's call it YES club, and so that they transmit the American values. For instance, civil, let's say, values like voluntarism.
That's good.
Yes, they help the other students how to behave and so on. Yes, and their main job is also to help the other speak English in English clubs.
Now let me come to Madame Kemfua. Earlier on, you had talked about large classrooms and struggling to break the pangs of teaching during very adverse conditions. Now, maybe as pedagogic inspector, which other way do you help to promote the teaching of English language or learning process?
Throughout the year, we have seminars with teachers. We hold seminars with them. We try to equip these teachers with the new methods in language teaching. We help them, we build them. We do capacity building seminars where these teachers come together. Together we work together to enable them, empower themselves to be able to be better teachers. So we do that about 2 or 3 times a year. We also have what we call the promotion of language clubs in schools.
That's good.
Especially for Francophones, we encourage teachers to create English language clubs in their schools where students come and express themselves in different ways in the second official language. They do drama, they do sketches and many other things in those clubs. And then we have also instituted English Day. Wednesday is an English Day in all the schools in the littoral, where all teachers
how does it operate?
Yeah, all teachers on Wednesday are supposed to speak English on campus, especially for Francophone schools. All the teachers.
Is it succeeding?
It's succeeding in most of the schools. All students are supposed to speak English. And where they are not doing so, that's the work of the inspector. We go down to the field all the time to enforce that it should be done. And it's really bearing fruits. We also have the American Embassy that comes into with this competition we call the Spelling Bee. It's organized.
Spelling Bee?
Yeah, the Spelling Bee. Yeah, we select some schools. Schools do register to participate in this program, and they select their students. They teach them how to spell words in English, and they come in for this competition, which this year will be in the month of March.
The month of March.
Yeah.
Oui, est-ce que vos actions sont orientées exclusivement vers les établissements publics? Est-ce que les établissements privés, confessionnels sont également bénéficiaires?
Nous travaillons avec les établissements publics et les établissements privés. Donc chaque inspecteur a son bassin pédagogique qui a dans son bassin des établissements publics et des établissements privés.
Qui bénéficient également du même encadrement, les enseignants du privé également qui participent à vos séminaires.
Évidemment.
les clubs sont également créés des absolument privés.
Oui.
Now, Madame Medimo, let me just ask, what will be some of the activities that will be coming up during the Bilingualism Week? Because it's going to take one full week.
Yes, and we have already started with that competition, and where we have lecture audible. It is reading aloud, writing of poems, drawings. So we have started since, let's say, 1 month, because we're doing it gradually. Right. All the schools are involved, public and private. And on Monday, we are going to have the launching of this program, the official launching, which is going to take place at Lycée d'Aqua.
Now, what are some of the challenges, maybe those of you pedagogic inspectors and even the teachers, challenges that earlier on asked this question, challenges maybe are within the hinterlands, you know, because some children are not really much interested. If you take a case, we are in the littoral, areas like Yingi, very far off, how are you penetrating?
We must say that these far off areas have a lot of challenges, because most of all, there is a crude lack of teachers there. And since also the infrastructures are not very good, it's difficult to reach these areas. So we endeavor, since it is our duty to go everywhere, we try at least once a year to go in all the places.
Once a year?
But yes.
Once a
let's
year?
Say we try.
Is it
it's not so
enough?
easy.
Is it enough?
It is not so easy. It's not enough.
Is it enough?
What we do, we call this teacher, when we organize seminars, for instance, in Douala, we call them and they join the other teachers in Douala, so that they don't lose anything.
And do students from those areas also benefit from competitions like years? Having also bilingual clubs?
Up to now, we have not been, we have only done this competition in big towns. Let's say Douala, we have gone to KEJANG last year, and this year we are doing it both in Douala and Yaoundé.
Simultaneously?
Yes. It is not so easy to go everywhere, since it is a competition and we cannot be everywhere at the same time.
Je vais aller en français.
Ok.
Mais nous avons l'impression que vos actions sont dirigées uniquement sur les jeunes et sur les enseignants. Et les autres Camerounais sont-ils totalement exclus? Est-ce que moi qui suis Camerounais, qui aimerais également apprendre l'anglais, quelque chose ne peut-il pas être fait pour nous?
Bon, disons que nous sommes ici dans le cadre du ministère des enseignements secondaires. Donc nous travaillons principalement avec les élèves et les enseignants. Mais le gouvernement fait quand même quelque chose pour, disons, le grand public. Disons qu'il y a les centres pilotes. Hein, le premier centre pilote, c'est-à-dire les centres où n'importe qui a la possibilité d'aller s'instruire ou bien s'améliorer dans l'autre langue officielle.
The American Language Center as well.
Yes. Oui. Donc vous avez le centre pilote à Yaoundé qui fonctionne depuis 1985, et puis il y en a à Douala, et récemment à Bafoussam, on a ouvert un centre pilote aussi. Donc il y a quand même quelque chose qui est fait au niveau du public en général. Et puis, bon, jusqu'ici, je pense que les choses s'améliorent.
Il y a également de nombreux centres privés qui sont créés où on va apprendre la langue. Est-ce que ces centres-là également complètent la formation que vous donnez déjà aux jeunes, puisqu'on voit également des jeunes scolaires s'inscrire dans ces centres-là?
Oui.
Est-ce qu'ils sont homologués? Est-ce que vous avez un mécanisme qui vous permet de suivre ce qui est également fait par ces centres-là?
Bon, disons que ces centres linguistiques, comme on les appelle, fleurissent un peu partout, il est vrai, mais ce n'est pas nous qui contrôlons ces centres. En fait, je pense que les gens qui désirent ouvrir les centres s'adressent plutôt à la formation professionnelle. C'est eux qui s'en occupent. Donc, ils ne sont pas de notre... ce n'est pas de notre ressort. Nous ne pouvons pas aller les contrôler et voir leur efficacité, mais je reconnais qu'ils contribuent quand même à la promotion du bilinguisme.
As the Bilingual Week takes off on Monday, we have a message to pass across, Madame Kemfwa, to Cameroonians as your activities will be unfolding.
Yes, I would like to encourage more Cameroonians to speak English and French, because when you can express yourself in English and in French, you have a lot of openings in front of you. You can easily get into the internet and do a lot of research that can carry you far away. You can attend conferences without asking somebody to interpret from English to French or from French to English to you. There are a lot of openings, there are job opportunities out there where I believe the Cameroon of tomorrow will be a Cameroon where we will no longer be talking about Anglophones and Francophones. We are going to be talking about Cameroonians in general, and it would be of the interest of Cameroonians to be able to express themselves in both languages, because I think posts of responsibilities will be held by Cameroonians who can express themselves in English and in French. So we look forward to everyone making an effort to be able to speak both in English and in French.
And it's not been very easy too with us some of the times when we go reporting, when documents are all entirely...
Qu'est-ce que les parents peuvent également faire pour accompagner les enfants dans la dynamique
Very fast, because we're almost signing out.
En ce moment, je dois dire que les parents sont très conscients de l'enjeu du bilinguisme. Parce que, bon, à mon niveau, je constate déjà que dans les classes dites anglophones, c'est-à-dire les classes qui suivent le système anglophone, il y a énormément d'élèves qui viennent des familles francophones, dont les parents jugent nécessaire d'inscrire leurs enfants dans l'autre système pour qu'ils deviennent réellement bilingues. À ce niveau, je pense qu'il y a un grand progrès.
Well, thanks very much, Madame Edimo Constance. Thanks very much, Madame Kemfor Pamela, and of course to our students who are here. And to you out there, the essential thing was to make sure we match up with the bilingualism week and to see how much Cameroonians are bilingual. And of course, if you have to watch the program Newsroom, go to Canal de Info at 7 p.m. today. You will have a rebroadcast of the program. And of course, move on to www.canadainternational.net and then you'll have it online. And from all of us, it's goodbye from Newsroom.